Welcome back everybody to more Heroes of the Storm action on Khaldor TV. Today we have two games on Infernal Shrines, again in the EPL, and we see a lot of heroes there, especially when we're talking Infernal Shrines. There's of course a couple of strategies that are extremely important. Back in the old patch it was all about AoE, Johanna and Leoric, the strongest heroes on the map. They got nerfed a bit with this patch though, and teams are currently trying to test out the map and all the changes that were made to the map, and are giving new compositions a bit of a try. And right now we're also seeing the again in play, since Bakery chose to play him on the first map. So we're going to see some really exciting games here again, and I hope that you guys are ready for this. So yeah, get yourself some snacks, something to drink, and we're going to jump into the first map right away. Infernal Shrines is the map today here at the European Pro League, the in-house pickup league for pro teams. And basically we also have, well, we always have mixed teams, right? It's more of an individual league than anything else, giving the top players a chance to play on the highest level and practice against each other, with voice chat of course included. In this case now we have to the left side on the map Alex the Pro G playing Arthur, Smexy style on Toronda. We have Leo from Poland on Karazim, Black Scorp on Teriel, and Andy Lendy on Jaina. To the right side of the map, we have Mena with Sylvanas. Bakery is actually playing Lieutenant Morales. Nanda on Johanna, Eternal on Reyna, and Styr on Leoric. We definitely have to talk. What just happened? That is... I'm not quite sure what that was, but that was not really what I wanted. Alright, that is... Well, I kind of know what that is, but yeah. Give me a second, boys, because something is not really working as intended here. Alright, here we go. So, that makes a little bit more sense. Sorry for those weird zooms. But yeah, as I said, we have to talk about these lineups, because they are super interesting, and there's so much to talk about right off the bat already. Okay, so let's start with a new patch. What did the patch do? The patch, amongst other things, made sure that Johanna and Leoric don't have that much wave clear anymore. So the wave clear has been reduced, and that's extremely important when we're talking about a map like Infernal Shrines. The map itself was changed a bit too, but we're going to talk about this later. The more important part is that before the patch, Leoric and Johanna were the two heroes on this map, and they were usually banned out immediately. So now we have both of them taken for the red team. That says, even though they have been nerfed in terms of their wave clear, they're still good enough to prioritize on this map now in particular. And we're going to find out over the duration of the game if that is really justified or not. So really important part to realize when we're looking at the setup for the red team. Their double tank lineup is very solid, very strong to take down, and then in the back line they have with Reyna a great auto attack damage dealer, and they're also running Sylvanas here. And Sylvanas is a pretty important hero on this map as well, because if you can take the Punisher, Sylvanas can disable the towers and also the keeps plus forts when the Punisher is trying to push in. So you get a lot of value out of this. One of the main reasons why we are seeing her taken here, it's a bit similar to the Mines, I would say. The Haunted Mines, not quite the same thing, but it's a similar situation that you are oftentimes in this case. Right now we have the first fight happening, and just look at that, up to the top lane. Eternal is still sitting here with Reyna, where everybody else is currently fighting. Leo is already moving back. The blue team is actually in a bit of trouble, but Toronda is actually down, and the double kill. Medic and Johanna dead. Eternal moves in, trying to clean house. He might be able to get a kill against Leo, but nope. It is instead Leoric that falls. So the blue team with a very nice spot there. Not quite sure what happened there, but the red team screwed up pretty hard in this fight, to be honest with you. Either Eternal has to rotate faster, or they have to say, hell, we're not going to commit to this. Whatever they did there, it didn't really work out, but we still have the red team with more minions captured thanks to that AoE that we see on Johanna and Leoric, and they're moving it again. They have 22 of the minions already taken down. There were a few changes to the map, as already mentioned earlier. Now you need to get 40 of those minions instead of 30. And we are seeing again the move in by the red team. They're trying to claim those, and they're getting ahead. Alex is low, but they're killing Reyna. No escape means that he's gonna drop. Leo from Korea is able to get away here just barely. Karazim makes it happen. We have a level 5 versus 4, the lead experience for the blue team, but it's still the red team taking the Punisher. The red Punisher takes now that bot lane, and we have Mene in position. He's ready on Sylvanas to disable these towers, and that could be what brings the red team back to action. Already 2 of the towers disabled, super important here. Andy Landy is getting jumped by the Punisher, and he is really low. Leo has to help out here. Jaina is in a bit of trouble. And once again, the front line is being disrupted. A lot of damage here dealt by the red team. They are starting to catch up in experience. We're having on level 4 for Morales the Bio Shield used. That's of course a bit of additional damage, a bit of additional health that you get with a shield. And we're also seeing the Trauma Trigger. Very popular talent, Trauma Trigger. Jesus, it's not that hard. On level 1 and on level 4, this Bio Shield is also an extremely popular talent. But we have seen also other builds. On level 4 you can also go for nice kill here up at the top lane from Smexy Style and Andilendi. Good disables here, nice stun, and also of course that slow that we saw. Utilizing that against a hero that doesn't have any kind of escape mechanism helps them to get another kill for the blue team. But as I mentioned, we have seen other builds for the medic. Lieutenant Morales has been played on level 4 with additional sustain talents, and especially Leo from Korea, for example, started to put in. The problem with the medic in general is that first of all you have basically no self-heal. You have a few talents that help with that, but nothing that is really too fancy. You don't have burst heal, and it's very difficult for you to survive if you get focused. You don't have that panic button that we see on most healers where you have like a Divine Shield to help yourself, the Ancestral Healing which can heal you. We have of course also Divine Palm. A lot of them can rely on an Ice Block, and that's just stuff that the medic doesn't have. She has great healing numbers, but she's always one of those priority targets, and that makes positioning with Morales extremely difficult. Cleanse has now been taken on level 7 for her. We see a variation on Johanna as well. The Crusade marches on. So that's an interesting one right now. Lowering the cooldown of your Iron Skin helps you with the sustain during the fights if you can activate it again. It means you miss out on battle momentum or a potential conviction that you could use as well. Yeah, in this case, nothing being used there. So, yeah, battle momentum would have been the other obvious choice. Also, Ghastly Reach, the Lorik build still the same after the patch. When we're talking about the blue team, we're seeing a few changes though. Again, Tyrande with that focused attack talent on level 4, which is an adjustment that has been made already before the patch by most of the players. But it's still an interesting one. Once again at the top lane, there's the fight for the Punisher, and the blue team is still able to secure that lead in experience that they've been able to establish earlier. We have now at least Tyrael with a sustained build going straight into Regeneration Master plus Amplified Healing, and of course battle momentum on 7, and they are starting to move in for a few potential kills here. Level 9 on their board. We have still more of those minions for the red team. They are starting to go for the objective again thanks to that double warrior front line, but good kills here from the blue team. When it comes to the team fight potential, they are definitely the ones that have more single target damage that they can take on to just precisely annihilate one single hero. Level 10 is faster for them, and now with those 2 kills and the heroic ability, they will get the Punisher. When it comes to talents, we have also Andilendi with a very interesting choice here. Andilendi, of course, one of the Virtus Pro players, and they are known to be very aggressive, and he went for Envenom on level 4, which is a very aggressive talent to take on Jaina. These days, most Jaina players go into Conjurer's Pursuit on level 1 and then solve their mana problems with that level 1 talent so that they can go on level 4 into the Storm, they can go into the increased radius. In this case right now, we have on level 1, we have no mana talents. We have Deep Chill and not what we would usually see here on level 4 then the Arcane Intellect, but instead still more damage, trying to go for Envenom, and on level 7 then Frostbite. So a pretty interesting adjustment that he makes there. Whoa, Leoric getting taken out again. Nande also eliminated. And the blue team now with all that momentum that they want to have. 10 kills against 0, by the way. There wasn't a single kill yet. I mean, the last 2 were, of course, easy pickoffs. Oh, Morales also down, and it looks like Mene is also going to fall. Yeah, I was trying to move away here, but that stun hit just at the perfect time. Medic with the Medivac, not going into the Stim Jump. No real reason to use that talent. We have also the 7-sided strike. Makes sense since we have not only with Tyrande another potential healer. Didn't go into Shadowstalk to give that AoE heal, that team heal, but still has, of course, the potential to go for Overflowing Light at level 13. So they didn't really go for any of these heal talents, but instead went for Starfall and 7-sided Strike. So we have even more talents that can pressure the front line of the red team. And also the AoE on Tyrande, which really helps securing additional punishes in the later stages of the game. We have also, at least for Reyna, a talent that can start zoning teams, and this is of course Hyperion. Blessed Shield has been used, or has been taken by Johanna. The stun was reduced, so we have a bit of a stun reduce on Johanna's heroic ability. Not really anything that comes too much into play, at least not now. It's still a great talent for the hero to take, much better of course than Falling Sword, at least these days. We have now 13 talents ready for the blue team, and the red team is really starting to fall a bit behind here. They are 2 levels or 1.5 levels behind. Overflowing Light and Tyrande is going to help with the sustain during the fights. We're also seeing Imposing Will for Tyrael. We're also having, in this case now, that ice block, that approved ice block on Jaina. Plus, of course, Arthur's with Relentless. And, oh, there's the attack again with the Judgment starting to move in, and a great kill against Morales. As we said before, Morales is a hero that you have to prioritize in these fights. Positioning is everything with her. And that's why I personally think that she is much more viable if you play Morales together with a Tyrande, if you play her together with maybe a Tacita, just someone who can help you out with sustain, because she herself just is lacking that option to press a panic button and survive for a bit longer. It's a pretty tricky scenario for her, actually. It's a really big problem, and it's probably the biggest problem that the hero has right now. Of course, she adds a lot of utility, especially when you have that medevac. You can use that, but in this case, yeah, that hasn't really come into play once. Johanna about to be taken out. Here's the commitment with the Hyperion. The attempted kill against Anilendi. They jump in. Oh, Styr is trying to get the kill, but nope, he falls. Leorki is down again. That was a good attempt, but still 0 kills for the red team. They are getting slaughtered right now. Absolutely slaughtered. In the face, so to say. We're having also, well, level 13 talents finally coming in for them. The question is if they can really use that to bounce back, and it's not going to be an easy feat to accomplish. Of course, the Giant Killer talent here on Reyna is going to help, especially against the tank line. We are also seeing finally the couples therapy for the medic, which at least helps a bit, but here comes that jump again, and the lockdown. Goodbye, Bakery. Boom. And the medic needs a medic. Black Scorp and his boys, they annihilated another hero. The healer is down, and now they are just moving in once again. 7-sided strike, already dropping Leoric really low. And again, the kill against Leoric. Also against Sylvanas. This is just brutal what happens here right now. 15-13, and they show no mercy. The blue team is moving in for another kill there. Nanda and Infernal, they are rushing away. That composition is just not working out. The jumper potential that we're seeing on the side of the blue team is just too much for the medic to stay alive. Judgment moving in with a lockdown potential, also with another follow-up with Howling Blast or Tyrande and her stun. It's just too brutal for Bakery to do anything with a hero. He doesn't have that dash that at least, for example, Karazin has to get him to safety. There's no shield that he can really apply. Well, he has Safeguard, I suppose, but it's still a very tricky scenario here for Bakery to stay alive, and so far it just hasn't worked out. He's been struggling the entire game already, and he's also the first target for the blue team, and that strategy is working out extremely well for them. So, at this point, we're seeing the level advantage again, the talent advantage, of course, for the blue team, which means that they should easily be able to fight on the next shrine also with that talent lead, and that is going to make the life of the red team a living hell. I actually don't see how they have any chance of moving back into this. And if you look, for example, also at the healing numbers that we're seeing for Morales, she wasn't able to get anything in there. I mean, that's 15,000, and the reason for that is quite simple to explain. She was dead half of the game. Very little that she could accomplish. Compare that to Karazin, who's on 36,000. Compare it to Tyrande, who has 13,000 without Shadowstalk. So it's just a very tricky game for the red team in general. Every single fight that they had to fight so far was more or less without the medic, and if you are playing a game without a supporter, you might know that feeling from Quick Match or Hero League. Then it's usually a very, very tough battle and lights out for your team. We have up at the top lane another camp stolen to the bot lane. The red team is at least trying to get in right now. They could use the medic now for medevac transport. I'm actually not sure why they're not doing this. I think Bakery could have really used the Medivac to move away with the rest of the team, but they're using just the beatback. So they're doing that instead. Okay, right. Fair enough. Maybe still in cooldown. And nope, wasn't. But yeah, they're moving up to the top now for the defense against that attack versus the keep. Level 15 versus level 18 in a second. Maybe if they get a kill or two, they might be able to turn this around. There's still that Bruiser camp pushing it in as well. But if they can claim 16 and maybe jump a hero, get an early snipe, that might be everything that they need here. Army of the Dead already used, and the medic locked down and dropped. Well played by the blue team. Once again, they get their kill. Infernal moves away, saves himself just barely. Main and Infernal are so low. They can't do anything about this. And the blue team, they take down the keep, and they're just saying like, alright boys, we're going to go back now. We're going to take another Punisher. They might even try to finish it with a Punisher. It will be a level 16 versus level 16 fight, but if that Punisher is going to jump the hero backline and they can get a lockdown out of this, then they should be able to kill another hero and then maybe snowball it from there. So that's a really nice chance for the blue team to make something happen. Also keep in mind that we haven't seen a single kill for the red team yet. Not one. 18 kills against 0. So this has been an absolute slaughter. I mean, if you have children watching the screen right now, you should really rethink that, because it's not going to be pretty. Especially with Alex already waiting for the medivac. And lockdown, boom. Good luck with that. Oh my god, like the pain. Ooh, Stür. Leorki is dead, and so is Nande. No way for Jana to survive, and guess what? Bakery is going to die too. Well, what else is new? Bakery with currently 6 deaths, Leoric on 7 deaths, and this team composition has not worked out. Not at all. Yeah. Bakery asked us before the game if we were ready, and I have to admit I was not ready for this. So, not quite what I expected. But yeah, 22 kills against 0. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the reasons why Morales as a solo support might not be the best idea for the near future, unless Blizzard is going to change a few things on the hero. So yeah, pretty cool game by the blue team. Very well played, a great composition for them that worked out perfectly. Especially against, of course, Johanna and Leoric. So yeah, AoE is not the most important thing on this map anymore. Great job and well played by the blue team. Again, we are on Infernal Shrines, and even though it's not the same teams that we had in the last game, this one it should be actually pretty entertaining. Infernal Shrines in general, a pretty cool map. Once again, we have the European Pro League here, with Breeze playing Tyrael for the team on the left side. We have AR on Jaina, Alex the Pro G on Arthurs, Get Amhead on the support role with Karazim, and Blackscorp this time on Reina for the range damage. To the right side, it's all about the stuns, stuns, and stuns. Styr on Muradin, we have Quacknix on ETC, Eternal playing the melee assassin, he went on Kerrigan, and Bakery is ready for the Divine Shield to support her. Also Mene again with Sylvanas, which follows pretty much the same logic that we already had in the last game. If you are getting all of those disables when you have a Punisher, you can do so much damage. Big fight in the middle of the map already, and there is the potential. There's again, oh, Jaina! She gets pushed back, and look at that ragdoll. But it's a counter kill against ETC now too. He jumped in deep for the kill here with his power slide and used the face melt to push Jaina back, but also in this case didn't really overextend, but went very aggressive and maybe a bit too deep. Styr with an attempt to just use that Storm Bolt, but that didn't really work out as intended. Blackscorp dodging that quite easily. The bot lane is where we're having Mene going up against Breeze. Both teams, of course, rotating heroes off the mid lane to make sure that they are soaking all 3 lanes now. At the top, that means that Eternal is trying to lay a bit of a trap. Get is already waiting, Alex up here. So both of the teams currently setting up a bit of a trap and trying to lock somebody down. Let's see if that's going to be successful. Talent-wise, no real surprises here. We have a lot of Regeneration Master talent. So we have one on Reina, we have, sorry, not on Reina. Reina, of course, went for Seasoned Marksman, which in the end has the same purpose. You have a stacking talent available to you. We're having, besides that, though, Regeneration Master on both of the tanks for the blue team. They are trying to use that on Tyrael and Arthurs. Tyrael most likely going for Amplified Healing on level 4 to have that extra sustain. And we were looking at the red team. First of all, we're having the blue team. Oh, Black Scorp dodging at least the stun. Quarknix, look at that Black Scorp. Wow, you dirty dog, goes in and escapes that triple gank, and they turn around against Bakery. They don't get the kill, but that was really well done. He doesn't really dodge Eternal's Primal Grasp, but he dodges the stun and then also ETC's Power Slide, which was really neat. So now we're having in the mid lane the first fight on the Shrine, and this one is going to be super important. Already another missed combo by Eternal's Kerrigan here. Breeze jumping away with a Rune's Might. We have also an attempt to just like rush in against Muradin, who's getting rather low but jumps away with his Dwarf Toss. Quarknix is waiting for an opportunity to power slide in. The problem is that he's extremely low, and blue team so far is really running the show here. But they will also get that level 4 talent later than the red team, and they kill Karazim. Karazim down, the healer gone. There's level 4, and immediately again we're seeing, of course, the talents coming into play for the blue team as well, with that amplified healing that we've been talking about. In this case, Conjurer's Pursuit for air follows up by, of course, Snowstorm. I mean, what else are you going to take? You already solved your mana issues on level 1, and then you can just simply head straight into the radius increase. Quarknix with the attempt to go for Black Scorp, but Stier dies on Muradin. Nice focus by the blue team, really liking their coordination here. Eternal with the attempted kill against Jaina, especially since he realized that he won't make it here. But Jaina survives, and Kerrigan is down 3 kills against 2. The blue team doing really well on the spot. 2 minions missing for the red team. Unbelievable. But the blue team, it looks like they are going to skier this one. Yes, they are. They get the Punisher, but boy was that close. The red team actually did extremely well here when it came to the objectives. Like, they took nearly all of those minions, but they were too short. And now suddenly we're seeing the blue team moving in. I mean, the blue team is also way ahead in experience right now. They did a great job. Up to the top though, the red team is still attempting to take Alex down, but they just can't get him here. And Quarknix is extremely low. There's the stun attempt, but Quarknix already using Power Slide, so it's a cooldown. Not for long though, but the lockdown against ETC is enough to take an additional hero down. Very well played here. Punisher has been defended against, but we have still level 6, nearly 7 for the blue team, and the red team is trailing behind. We see them with, in terms of the build, we have them on level 1 with the proc rock still, which is more or less one of those healing things. So not going into that power slide, or that additional talent for the power slide. Double neck guitar is still a level 4 talent. But proc rock can actually be kind of interesting when you get some heals out of that at least. So currently we're having Mene down here at the bottom, Breeze also. They are fighting against each other. Up to the top lane. Oh, Amherd is moving away here. He went for the Echo of Heaven, is getting away. Protective Shield, and of course Transcendence on level 1. I don't think I've ever seen a Monk player taking anything else than Transcendence on level 1. It's just like the talent. You want to get those heals out, and that's exactly what he does. Damage Monk, for example, isn't really something that brings too much DPS onto the table, and especially if you're running as a single healer, then you definitely need to go into Transcendence, which is what they did here. Also, Season Marksman, it helps out quite a bit. Black Scorp, of course, so far has done a great job staying alive. We've seen him jump several times, but he was able to escape. We have also now the Ravage talents for Kerrigan, who's very likely to take battle momentum. And yes, indeed she did. Went for battle momentum here. We have Guitar Hero as the talent ETC on level 7. And both of the teams just trying to wait for the next shrines and not lose a hero before that. Very important positioning right now. Another camp taken, the Bruiser camp in this case, for the red team. The blue team is still pushing that top lane, and this is actually like a very dangerous scenario for the red team. They might lose one of their forts here. This is going to be extremely tricky. At this point, it's again the fight for the shrine. There they start moving in against this. Quarknix Eternal, everybody is just waiting for the first hero to jump in and get that combo off, and there it is. Triple combo! What a move! Black Scorp about to die. He gets healed. Oh no, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Get Amherd, he saves Black... Oh, no. Not quite. He was about to, but then still Alex! Oh, Arthur's down. The kills against Kerrigan and Muradin are starting this off, but then it's still that triple kill that we've been waiting for the red team. They are way behind in experience, but if they get this Punisher, that would be a huge victory for them. and with all the heroes, of course, being on a rather low death timer now, we will see them join that fight again eventually, and we could even see level 10 coming into play for this particular Punisher, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen in a few seconds. 28 minions have already been claimed by the blue team. The red team is doing whatever they can, but they have Kerrigan at the top lane now. They're trying to soak experience since they realize they won't be able to fight against the heroic abilities of the blue team, who now have access to Sanctification, to Divine Palm, Hyperion, Army of the Dead, and also the Water Elemental. And especially Sanctification is extremely powerful in this setup. If you're looking at the red team, then the first thing that comes to mind is really they're controlling these fights. I mean, the last battle started with ETC, Power sliding 3 heroes, Kerrigan using the opportunity to just get her stun combo off against all 3 of them. And if you have Tyrael with Sanctification, he can negate most of this. So Tyrael is going to be an absolutely key hero in these fights. Getting a good Sanctification off is going to be extremely important. Another fort falling. Well, the first fort actually in this case, but still, it's a level lead that we're seeing for the blue team, but level 10 has now finally been reached by the red team, and that allows them to get the level 10. Quacknix at the top, or on the mid lane, was jumped, but the blue team was not able to secure this kill. We have, of course, the Mosh Pit, also the Maelstrom for Kerrigan, Divine Shield, Wailing Arrow, and Avatar are the heroic abilities for the red team. Up to the top, Breeze and Infernal with a bit of a fight against each other. Nothing too fancy just yet. And we are seeing a rotation into the mid lane. ETC, is he gonna go for a Mosh Pit here? They're trying to go for Gat. ETC not using the Mosh Pit just yet. Avatar has been committed, and the kill against Jaina. Powerful stuff here on the side of the red team. Getting that kill is an important one. Styr starting to move in. He was actually trying to see if somebody is in that bush. That was a very cool move. It didn't work out for him in this case, but I really like the idea behind it. Jump in, try to see if we can surprise somebody, have that Stormbolt ready for the lockdown, and if there's actually a hero hiding, we can follow that up with ETC or with any other hero for additional stuns and maybe get a second kill in. Committing that little bit of mana in the cooldown in such a case is absolutely worth it, so I like the idea. Infernal at the top lane, still with the experience, so he's actually doing quite a good job with the pressure play here. We're seeing Mena at the bot lane doing just Sylvanas things. If you have that hero, their pushing power is absolutely gigantic, and that's exactly what Mena is currently trying to capitalize on. Pressuring these lanes back and also putting, of course, pressure on the towers, who already start to lose quite a fair amount of ammunition. In the mid lane now, Bakery is still soaking XP. And at this point for both of the teams, that's the most important part. Soak experience, don't overcommit, try to stay safe. There's a lot of gank potential for both sides, so you need to be aware where everybody is positioned. Take a camp if you can, and there's that lockdown that we've just been talking about, and Breeze barely able to escape here. He already used a Druid's Might before that happened, and that allowed him to jump away for now. Here comes again the Punisher at the top lane. The problem is that we have level 13 versus level 12. The red team in trouble. They're trying to get a kill. That's the only thing that they can do. Get an early kill. Maybe against Scat. Lockdown everywhere. Sanctification already used. That's exactly what they needed. Great play here by Breeze. But we have ETC with the Mosh Pit. He gets stunned out of it though. And now the fight turns around. Styr is getting extremely low on his Mirrodin. He's trying to get away, but he dies first. Divine Shield against Kerrigan was helping her for a second, but not long enough to really survive this battle. Down she goes, and now it's Quacknix that they're trying to hunt down. And let's not forget about that Shrine active up to the top lane. Quacknix on the run. Nice move here. He's buying some time for the rest of his team, but of course in this case he is going to fall either way. Suddenly it's the blue team with a push potential again, and they move into the mid lane first, drop the fort, and we see Arthur's at the top securing this shrine here. Very well played, 10 kills against 6. The red team was desperate. They were really desperate. They saw that the shrine was active and they said, hey guys, we can't fight on the shrine. They will be prepared. They will take position. What we have to do is we need to like capture one of their heroes while he's rotating to the top, try to take them out, and if we turn it into an early 5 versus 4, then we can make something happen here. So they move in, they see Kharazim, and they try to kill him, but they don't get the kill. And why? Because that Sanctification was spot on. That was perfect. That was exactly what they needed to negate those stuns. So extremely well played, and then the blue team turns it around. 13 versus 13 talents now. Experience lead is definitely there, but here comes the red team. They want the Punisher. They want the fight. They go in with ETC. Oh, the ice block already committed by Jaina. Ah, and the Divine Palm saving her. The Punisher is in play and is starting to move in. Can the red team still take a kill here? Jaina is low, but Divine Palm is there. And she's safe. Eternal drops, and now the red team is in so much pain here. Quacknix is about to die, Mena low, this could be a wipe. Styr already about to fall, and Quacknix, he's running, but that death column that last hit by Breeze finish him off now too. Great play here once again, mid lane, well, there's absolutely no problems there, big wave coming in, but with that Punisher, Blackscope is now finally committing that Hyperion to the kill against these structures. Everybody down except for Uther, and that is pretty brutal. Right now we have Quacknix with his ETC not being too happy, I suppose. They're 3 levels behind, and when we're talking about talents, there's that 16 talent that is now on the horizon for the blue team, and they have that already. We, by the way, saw double barrels taken by Reyna, so a bit of an adjustment when we're looking at the build for Blackscorp. Did not go into the Giant Killer, which I find, oh, I don't know, a bit surprising, I have to admit. I mean, we have quite some synergy with Bullseye and Double Barreled, so that's something where you can really say, okay, he's going to get a lot out of this. At the same time, though, if you have Muradin against you, Giant Killer is really a big asset, but I suppose that they don't really need this too much, and it allows you to have that extra move against ETC once he commits to his mosh pit, so also an important one. Groupie is on level 13. It's actually like pretty nice to have something like that in conjunction with the Prog Rock on level 1. It gets you quite a bit of heal out there, so it's kind of nice to have that in addition to Uther himself. But of course, mostly ETC is useful for his utility here and for those stuns. He got a few buffs in the last patch, and that's an important part of his kit right now. Besides that, though, the red team is extremely pressured here. They are really struggling to make a play in these fights. Every single time one of those objectives appear on the map, they seem to be a bit behind in talents and or a hero short. They try to commit, try to make something work, but every time we have that sanctification going down from Breeze on his Tyrael, or I'm here just barely getting the Divine Palm in. Nice stuns here once again, a good lockdown, and with that 17 levels and also that huge lead in experience, the blue team is doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, they're pressuring, they're being aggressive, they're saying like, hey, we have that talent, we have the position on the map, let's use it. Let's take the mercenary camps while we can, try to pressure them as much as possible, get maybe a kill, keep them in their place, deny them as much experience as we possibly can, so that they will lose out on that next Immortal, that next Punisher too, and that's what they're aiming for. They have a 3-level lead right now. We could see level 16 appear for the red team in time, and I think with Mena, of course, having the Unstable Poison on level 7, he can burst these waves down, and they have to do that. They need to somehow fight for this one. If they lose out on another Punisher, I think it's going to be lights out for them. And they will try to do whatever they can. Already, everybody in the mid lane waiting for the Punisher. We have also the 16 talents. So much sustain now for the red team. So much sustain. Stoneform, for example, is a great talent here. Aggressive defense as well. And let's not forget about Benediction on Uther. This is going to be great for them. But look at ETC. The Divine Shield had already been committed. Divine Shield and ETC can just be in such a great position if you commit to that early on. You move in, you get that mosh pit off, and then you follow it up with damage. But now Divine Shield is in cooldown, and that is going to be a big, big problem here for them. The red team is struggling to get their kills against the minions. They need an objective. They need to have a small win here soon, and this is the chance that they might have. But Styr is already low on his Muradin. He's attempting to move it again. Avatar hasn't really been committed just yet, but here they come once again. Already the Maelstrom. Nice lockdown in this case against Blackscorp. The silence with a Wailing Arrow. Great play here from Mena. Gets the Wailing Arrow. It jumps away. Breeze is trying to follow this up with a kill, and he gets the kill against the hero. He takes down Sylvanas, but the fight is not over just yet. In the middle, and once again fighting. Breeze is moving back in. Eternal with so much damage here. Look at that ETC mosh pit. 3 heroes. That's all that they needed. The kill against Jaina robs the blue team of a lot of the damage that they still had there. Gerd Amherd is trying to keep everybody alive. The Punisher is in play for the blue team. Jumps in to drop ETC, but the red team is on the hunt right now. They want to get a few kills out of this one. But the Punisher is going to make their life a living hell. The Frozen Punisher moves in. Great play by Breeze again, using the holy ground here to just push Quacknix back. I'm not sure if he can survive this. I don't think he can. There's just like too much They are hunting him down. The Punisher is barreling down the bot lane. There's the Divine Shield. Great play by Victory, keeping him alive for now, but Quadnix is so low and he won't be able to get away. He buys time, he's really trying, but it's just not enough. Bakery moving away already. Look at the heals, by the way, for ETC. No, sorry, you can't actually see the heals. That's a damage tank. Unfortunately, we can't see the heals for him, considering that he went on level 1 and on level 13 for heal talents. But he has soaked 59,000 damage, way more than Muradin. He's actually the punching bag for the team if you want. 5 deaths already, but he's been soaking a lot of that damage that has been thrown out by the blue team. At the same time, looking at the heal potential, 30,000 for Uther. We're also seeing 50,000 for Karazhan, which is quite nice, especially since, I mean, Ghetto has been hitting some really nice Divine Pumps. Some of them were just absolutely clutch and spot on. Still only 1 keep has fallen, so the last Punisher did some damage, don't get me wrong, but it didn't really take down any of the crucial structures. But we still have level 20 now about to appear for the blue team, and that's where they really unfold, of course, most of their potential. Again, the attempt to kill a hero early on. Nice lockdown against Black Score, but we have a few of the heroes now coming into play a bit late. Divine Shield is there for Infernal, using the Maelstrom. Hyperion is getting the damage in, zoning them out now, though, and Quadnix eating that entire Blizzard. 2 waves hitting him hard, and ETC drops. Kerrigan jumps into the backline, trying to heal herself with a level 1 talent on her Ravage, but that's not happening. And now the lockdown against Muradin. He is dead. It's a triple kill, and with that level 20 talent, and especially Nexus Frenzy taken on Reyna, they have the damage that they need to go for the core, and that's exactly what they do. They move through 2 of the keeps and say like, yeah, what you gonna do? Try and defeat us here. Bakery in the back with Uther is gonna go in for a stun, but there is nothing that you can add to this one. Bakery is about to be taken out here. Yep, he dies. No level 20 for him. No redemption. And now the blue team is going to claim victory here on Infernal Shrines. Great play on the side of the blue team. Really well done. Some clutch plays from Tyrael and also Karazhan. Really good job here. GG. And the blue team, they take it again on the last map. Today the game's actually a bit more one-sided, but it's really nice to see how especially the medic currently has her shortcomings. The hero itself can be quite strong, but the problem is definitely positioning and also trying to keep yourself alive. On the first game, what we saw there was the blue team just continuously jumping on Bakery and just, yeah, exploiting the fact that the medic doesn't really have a panic button that saves her and keeps her alive during these fights. So the team has to really help out. Of course, you can always argue that maybe throwing in a Tacita there might help out a bit, but still, it's going to be pretty difficult for the teams to make something like that happen. So 2 games, pretty entertaining in my opinion. Still a lot of stuff to talk about in the new patch, of course, obviously. And I hope that you guys learned something here today with the commentary. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. It was a blast casting for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time and have a great day. Bye-bye.